artist. So rap music nowadays is just trash and it's not the same like it used to be. And the reason why that I'm like saying this is because rap music back then it was nicer, it was cooler, and it had like more of like a rhythm that kind of like made more sense to it. It just sound better, and the lyrics were just better too. But if you listen to a rap music nowadays, it's just it just don't hit the same like it used to. Cause I really don't listen to rap music nowadays simply because is that it's just not my type or whatnot. Cause I know that some people will say, "Oh well, you're kind of like you suck, man, because you don't listen to rap. You suck. You should be listening to these like new rappers coming up." I'm like, no, 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 I don't gotta do that though. Now, don't get me wrong though. I do listen to rap. I just mainly listen to those old rap songs, like rappers that like go back in the day, like Lil Boosie, Lil Wayne, Birdman, Juvenile, Fat Joe, Tupac, Biggie, people like that. So I do listen to those like rap. Oh yeah, like to those old rappers. I still do though. But I'm mainly like in a R&B and in a Southern soul music type guy. And I just just like love the feeling of just like all of that joy and like that it had instead of just being just random beats and random drums and melodies just slapped on there and it just sounds like total shit. I haven't really been keeping up with these new rappers nowadays because I already know is that yes, it's just gonna be just a bunch of just slapped on trash and it's just not good. And that's why I just don't listen to it. Now, I do like remixes though. I do like remixes of those like old rappers or whatnot. The rap music nowadays I've been listening to was rap music from the 90s to 2000s or maybe the late well not late but maybe the early 2010s and mid like 2010s. But other than that though, but yeah, I just don't listen to it nowadays. I will mainly listen to R&B and like Southern soul or even techno music at best. But yeah, and I'm not really a fan of like rock music or whatnot. It's just not my type or whatnot, or even heavy metal. But I do fuck with some of the bands though. Some old rock music that I listened to was pretty good. Now, this generation will never understand how good music was back in the day because this new generation doesn't have the same experience or the same level of like emotional feeling of connection or even just, living life in general like these older generations have. So kind of makes you wonder and think about be like, yeah, it's kind of harder to do stuff nowadays. Of course, it's not impossible. It's just harder since a lot of shit changed. A lot of stuff is happening by us so quickly is that you don't even have a chance to get to it or whatnot. Because this new generation is so quick to listen to this new music though when most of them, if not all of them, should check out like these old music like back in the day, and they will see that yeah, it sounded a lot better. It sounded a lot cooler, and it didn't have all that unnecessary like beats, melodies, tones, all that stuff, or even unnecessary lyrics too. It was just simple, and it was just easy. Played it on the radio, played it on record discs. It was just awesome, or even DVDs as well. And it's sad that all of this stuff is just died off now. Take all of these old artists and then put them in this timeline and be like, yeah, we would have still had music like it was back then. A lot of R&B groups were great too. Jodeci, Levert, As Yet, Drew Hill, Silk, Next, and Ready for the World, and so on and so forth. Though, because if we all took them and then brought them here, we would have had like a lot of shit change. But since this new generation want all this new shit, they're just leaving out the old shit behind and don't realize that this is not what it used to be back. I said like back then though. This new shit that they're listening to is not what it is back then. Cause yeah, it was more of like a emotional thing rather than just all of this like coping shit. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with listening to these old songs because a lot of people will agree and they will say some stuff like, yes, I agree. Music back then was better, it was greater, and it had more power to it. It had more feeling to it instead of just being all pedantic and being with all these plethora of just words with just meaningless statements or shit like that. But yeah, it was just good times like back then. And now when these new people see it, they just don't understand. Like they just don't get it. They really don't. If I had to go back and be like, hey, yeah, going back in time was just better. We didn't really had like to deal with like all these problems. Things were simpler. Things were greater. Especially when you drove your car, you listened to the radio, or if you're just sitting at home or like at some place and you listen to that music or you hear that music playing and your favorite song come on though, you just that dopamine effect rises and you're just like having a good time just listening to it. And you wonder why they hardly don't do stuff like this. Simply because we are living in the world where all of these negative entities want to take away fun. They want to destroy the world. They want to make this place a living hell when it shouldn't be. All because that, they want to just take the joy out of shit and make it into a fucking landfill full of just trash. And we can do something about it though, but I guess people are just too cowardly to actually like do something that is better, or instead of just not doing something at all. Because if we all had to listen to old music, then stuff may go back to normal with that stuff. But I doubt it though, because all that stuff has pretty much just died out now. And the R&B nowadays, I really don't care for it now because R&B isn't what it is like it or yeah like it was too though. Same thing for like rock music and like pretty much all of the genres combined as well. So it's not just rap, but yeah, that's why I mainly just listen to old music because ain't nothing wrong with an old soul, right? Like I don't care what nobody say. Like I don't have to listen to new music all because that they want to listen to this new music. I don't have to follow behind them because they think that I'm different or I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm silly for not listening to their new music or what other people are like listen to new music when I can just say, you know what? You guys have no clue or you guys don't understand what music was back then. If you actually listened to some few songs, you would have like liked it better and you would have like listened to the music like more often instead of just not listening to it at all. That's pretty much about it.